With the recent unrest concerning the absence of Chief Bola Tinubu and his vice, Shettima, His Excellency Peter Obi has reacted following concerns of Nigerians. In his tweet, he said, "While it is arguable that the President and Vice President's absence from the villa, there is no vacancy in the presidency. In a situation where both the President and the Vice President are out of the country, as reported in the media yesterday, it's concerning for a country with such myriads of domestic problems. The President had told us that he would only be gone for 14 days. The 14 days have now passed and we are waiting to see him in the country. One would have expected him to return earlier than expected, considering the volume of work that needs to be done in a troubled nation like ours. The untold hardship that has been unleashed on our people as a result of some of his administration's policies is unimaginable, and we need his urgent attention to pilot the nation out of his present situation. Again, since the President is reportedly in Paris, France, which is just about 833 nautical miles from Stockholm, Sweden, one wonders why he did not just attend the 2-day working visit to Sweden. He could simply have done it on his way back from France with his new powerful jet, which would have taken a little over 2 hours. This would have saved him time and a very scarce national resources we need critically at this time. Instead, he delegated the Vice President, who needed to travel 3,055 nautical miles over 9 hours, about 4 times the travel time from Paris, Abuja, Nigeria to Stockholm, Sweden, to represent him at the event. It would take about 4 times the time and distance it takes to travel from Paris to Stockholm to travel from Abuja to Stockholm. This does not represent the kind of fiscal responsibility and common sense that is expected of leaders whose people are facing severe hunger and poverty. This is the time to show true and committed leadership to the people by making decisions that prioritize the well-being of the people and effective management of the nation's scarce resources in alleviating the sufferings of the people. A new Nigeria is possible. P.O. Now, with the hardship in Nigeria at an all-time high, a Senator Kalu, came out to say that his monthly salary of 14 million naira is not enough for his daily expenses for the month. Take a listen.
Well, in another development, Senator representing Abia North, Orji Kalu, has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows that Nigerians are experiencing economic hardship. Kalu made the comments during a live television interview on Thursday. He said that Tinubu moves around Abuja with 1 or 2 cars some nights to feel the pulse of the people. The senator also disclosed that he earns 14 million naira as his monthly salary, which he claims is not even enough. Let's take a listen.
Himself knows that Nigerians are suffering. The president knows that Nigerians are hungry. The president knows he's a street person. He knows the street very well. The president some nights use his car to go around and know what is happening in Abuja here. People really? Yes, of course. Whether they kidnap or not, the president goes around with 1 or 2 cars and see what is happening. He's not a president that's locked up in a room. He's not a president that doesn't know what is. He knows. But this president is bad. He's very courageous on his own. Because most of the things he's doing, I might not be able to take them all.
How much do you earn as a salary, Senator?
I earn 14 million for everything.
In a year or per month?
In a month.
In a month?
But everything comparison.
In your salary?
My salary, the overhead, the worker salary, everybody. So
you don't think that is enormous?
No, it's not.
Head. You're not the only one.
No. Let me be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Do you know this money I have to buy fuel, I have to travel to my constituency, I have to maintain constituency office, I have to sit in the constituency. It's not enough.
Dr. Abati, everything compassing is not enough. I mean, what are we not going to hear in Nigeria? Well, let me take this reaction before I come to you, Dr. Abati. This is from Ennis, who wrote, "You are earning 14 million naira monthly for doing nothing. Come on, Nigerians. It is a high time Nigerian people wake up to correct this injustice in the society. 14 million naira divided by 160 people or workers by Nigerian minimum wage is 87,500 naira. I know feet shout." Dr. Abati, I mean,
well,
over
you
to
see, these your lawmakers, they are very interesting people. And someone like Senator Ujuzo Kalu, he's been governor twice. He's now a senator. I mean, he will qualify as a statesman, you know, and he's a grandfather. He's, you know, he's been around. And then he will go on television to tell Nigerians that 14 million naira is not enough for him in a month, that in fact he uses it to buy fuel to go to his constituency.
Yes.
And everything encompassing, everything, 14 million naira. In a country where some people have just spoken that some people have not received their salaries because some banks are not functioning. How does he want people like that here listening to him to feel?
I don't know.
And then, you know, this 14 million naira, okay, is from Igberi in Abia North, that's his constituency in Abia State. Yes. So even if he spends 1 million naira to go from Abuja to Igberi, he cannot spend up to 14 million naira. So I think this is the point that Nigerians make about these senators. That look, they are overpaid and underworked. Many of them are guilty of absenteeism. Many of them go there to just snore and sleep during proceedings. When they don't show up, they say they are doing committee work. Well, that's why Nigerians are saying we should have a unicameral legislature.
Yes.
And the work of the members of this unicameral legislature should be part-time work.
Yeah.
All the people in the National Assembly who are doing nothing, who have nothing to do, you know, they are collecting 14 million and they have the effrontery to come and tell us that it is not enough. So how much does Senator Kalu wants to earn? How much will be enough for him? Perhaps 150 million naira per month. That's very ridiculous.
Right.
Number two, he made the point that his committees that are given vehicles, not members of, you know, of the National Assembly. Okay, what I know is that there is no member of that National Assembly that doesn't belong to one committee or the other. Except Senator Kalu is telling us that the committees of the National Assembly, the people who are using those cars are goats. And then we will ask the question that, okay, how does he reconcile that with other, you know, senators who have told us before that they use the 65 million naira SUVs that they've been given for constituency work. And Nigerians are saying, no, you can't be riding expensive imported vehicles. Go and ride innocent. Go and ride other locally assembled cars. Just make sure you don't get CNG that is put together by welders so that you can be safe. Number three, I think he went overboard when he was saying President Tinubu is from the street. He knows the street. He knows what Nigerians are suffering, and he will deal with it. That he goes out in the evening.
And with one or two cars.
Well, that's a security breach. I don't think it's a good thing to be announcing that sometimes in the evening, President Tinubu goes around, you know, Abuja. In a country where there are kidnappers.
He said it doesn't matter.
No, we don't want our president to be kidnapped. Because people are angry, that they are hungry. If he goes about driving around, well, I don't know.
All right.
Well, but Senator Kalu says he knows the street.
He knows the street. Our president knows the street. He wants to feel the pulse of the people. Well, I mean, something's got to give. One thing I took away from what you said, Dr. Abati, is about our governance system in Nigeria. Well, in Kenya, the Senate on Thursday voted to impeach the country's deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Despite a plea from his lawyers to postpone the proceedings, the lawyer said the deputy president was hospitalized after falling sick hours before the vote was set to hold.
Sad reality is that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has been taken sick, very sick, and as I address Mr. Speaker in this honorable House, Senators, he is in hospital, Mheshimiwa Speaker. That is a sad reality.
All right, Rufai, the deputy president there in Kenya was charged with, multiple charges of corruption. But it's basically, people are saying it's really not about that. It's about the infighting within the president and
Oji, you're spot on. So
the
these two people
president
came together, they coalesced to be able to get power. Yeah. Gachagua went against him when those protests were rife in Kenya. In fact, a lot of criticism, a lot of people said, you're playing with fire. This is your government. You are going against your government in a bit of siding with the people.
Yes.
And that went south. The moment Ruto was able to consolidate power, the next thing he did is he went for him. He went to the hospital, said his chest was paining him and all of that in the hospital. But the chest pain couldn't stop the impeachment. He still had to go. But my fear in Kenya is this consolidation of Ruto. Hope he will not build another hegemon. Because now, Ruto will be able to reign supreme. The question is, will Gachagua now go back to his political base and get ready for the next election? I don't think he's going to get any mileage because Ruto is the incumbent president and he's going to consolidate on the power. Because Gachagua brought a lot to the ticket in the last elections. Will he now able to go to the opposition and do a deal? As far as we speak today, Oji, there's no opposition in Kenya. You know why? Because Ruto has, let me use one worry term, columbied the neck of Baba, what's his name now? Odinga. In fact, they are trying to see how they can put Odinga on an African Union chairmanship stage. So you can see now that that's how opposition is taken away on the African continent. And Ruto will reign supreme. And Kenya is having a lot of problems. Like India are trying to dominate Kenya with Adani Group.
Yeah, so what do you think about the whole process, though, in terms of the impeachment and all of that, Dr. Bati, really quickly?
Well, I said it, I think, earlier on. The process that they follow in Kenya, last week, the lower parliament voted to impeach. But that then set the stage for the upper parliament, the Senate. We took the decision, 2/3 of the 67 members of the Senate voted to impeach. While he was at, I think, the Kane Hospital, his lawyers also walked out of proceedings in the Senate. Now, 2 governors of the counties are being considered to succeed Rigiji, as he's also known, and 2 ministers, Interior Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister. So this may not be the end of conflict in Kenya, but clearly the 2-year pact between Rigiji and Ruto has come to an end.
All right.
And, President Ruto is effectively in charge. But there are other issues that will have to be solved. Debt, the economy. These are bigger things that should be of interest to the people of Kenya rather than the infighting among the political elites.
I mean, besides that, I think for me, it really is about just the processes that, govern their country in terms of the impeachment or even the replacement of the cabinet. I feel like, Kenyans are way ahead of their governance system, which I must commend as well.